Len, tell us about what your current involvement is with the museum and what you perceive it to be going forward.
Well, you mean...
You've now brought us up to date, thankfully, from 1997 until the present time. And we heard from John that you were very helpful as a volunteer curator for the Revolutionaries exhibit. What else you got going on?
Well, I also sit on all of these boring committees. We had an audit committee meeting this morning, so that takes a reasonable amount of my time. The personal project that I've been working on for the last couple of years is discovering, preserving, and distributing software, especially old historic software. If there's one fault that I can apply to Gordon Bell in his establishment of the museum in Boston, is that he ignored software. And for the first 20 years, the museum had nothing to do with software. We wouldn't collect anything relating to it. We would send it all to the Charles Babbage Institute or to Gene Samet or someone else. I changed that beginning in the 1996, 1997 time frame. But there's a lot of software that has been lost, and a lot of software that we can preserve if we make the effort. Some of it I've done personally myself. I had the source code to APL, and Curtis knows this, in my attic on a 9-track mag tape for 40 years. And it took me 10 years to get permission from IBM to release. The problem in some of the source code is not discovering it, it's not reading the tape, it's getting permission of the copyright owners to release it. We finally got that permission, and the source code is up on the web for everyone to look at. Same story with Mac Paint. We had the source code to the Mac Paint that had been written by Bill Atkinson for the original Mac. Couldn't get Apple to give us permission to release it. Again, 10 years. We finally got Steve Jobs to make it happen. So that's a lot of what I'm spending my personal time on now. My fun time is collecting software, getting permission to release it.
For years, that's been the big complaint. Curtis, I think you're on the LinkedIn group, and you see that there are constant questions. How come there isn't more software? Well, do you realize it's very, very hard to exhibit software?
Yes, it's
right?
very hard.
It's not something like you have a tangible machine that you can show. How do you show software? How do you show a queued core load, which I worked on in 1970?
So that's why we have Kirsten Tashev, because she has designed an exhibit called Make Software Change the World, which will blow people's socks off, and it's all
when is that?
software.
When is that coming? Tell us
what
the coming attractions are.
It's coming as soon as we can finish the fundraising. We don't build it until we can afford it. So we're about halfway there. We're right now raising the money to finish that exhibit. And that exhibit is just part of a whole series of initiatives that we want to do about the preservation of software. So it's, in some sense...
This gentleman told me here that you're a good fundraiser. I didn't know that. I thought I knew mostly everything about you.
My wife is the good fundraiser, actually.
By the way, I'm Len's PR agent. I recruited him to talk at 3 different events, so if you want to have Len speak, and he is a terrific speaker on computer history, world class, best I've ever seen. You have to go through me.
I do the rubber chicken circuit, so any of the fellowship clubs or the Elks clubs or whatever, I'm available.